Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education channel. If you have a rental house that you're renting out and you need to schedule repairs and maybe you're out of town, that's what this video is about. And also about chimneys and chimney repair, and just to help you out, make you have a better future and what you maybe need to know rather than what you expect you would hear. So also, it's about the ideas. It's not about the video, as always, because I have just a phone. So please, even though the video, it's more to listen to, it's not really something to watch. And but please like, thumbs up, and subscribe if the information is useful to you. You'll see it's just me with my phone. And anyway, so you have a rental house and you have renters in there, and then they're busy people and they don't want to be bothered. It's like, imagine that you're a mother or father and you're trying to get your children to do the chores, and the chore is they have to be there to take care of some kind of house inspection or repair. For example, cleaning the gutters. If maybe you do that, but then it needs some kind of repair and you need to hire somebody, and they say, well, that's fine, but we need to be paid at the time, basically on the spot. But you can't be there at that time, but you need the renters to schedule it, and then you can get mixed up. They might call you to pay when you're not available to pay due to time zone difference or something, and it actually should be handled by your renters. So what you do is you say, well, this needs to be done, talking to your renters, please schedule it. So maybe give the phone number to the company doing the service, so like a chimney repair or gutter repair or furnace or air conditioner, whatever it is. Give the number and say, this is the person that lives there. They will pay for it, and you can compensate the person, the renter, who pays for it, or have them deduct from the next rent, and put it in writing. Do it by email so it's all written down, and any instructions. Now you can get taken advantage of by the inspection or repair company by what they might do is not listen to your instructions. And it's happened to me. So there's a family house where I used to live. It has 2 fireplaces, one of which is in the basement. It doesn't have a good draft and we never use it. It hasn't been used for at least 40 years. So I called the chimney, flue, and fireplace company and said, only do the first floor upstairs. Absolutely 100%. Do not do the downstairs chimney and flue inspection. And definitely don't repair it. So I told them that, then put them in contact with the renters that are in the house. I gave the renters the phone number of the place, and I gave the place the phone number of my renters. They got in touch, and then the place where I said absolutely 100% do not do the downstairs basement fireplace inspection and chimney inspection for the flue, well, they scheduled an inspection and they said it'll be free. That's right, free. So they showed up, they inquired again, they said, okay, we're gonna do an upgraded inspection, not a free inspection of the downstairs. Is that correct? And unfortunately, the renter, one of the people, agreed. It was not the person who did the scheduling, so he had no idea, and maybe didn't listen and didn't know anything, perhaps. And so I ended up paying double because it was paid for way before I knew what had happened. Yes, we tried to get a refund. we got a small refund, but it was about maybe $100 out of $700 of a refund, when it could have been, say, $300-400 refund for a service. I said 100% do not do it. So this can happen. It could happen with roofing, chimneys, anything in your house. And it's unfortunate because when the owner is not in the home, the companies can tell, especially young, inexperienced renters, they could tell them anything they like, scare the daylights out of them, and then get them to agree to services. And whereas if you as the owner are there, they would treat you differently. So now I'm just telling you to be aware, and you're going to have to come up with your own solution, like perhaps put in writing, these are the only services I'm agreeing to, and if somebody at the house agrees to other services, they get to pay for it. And I recommend you put that in the lease, and put that in emails. Now, actually, when I think about the lease, it might be better to include the wording extra services that are not important for safety of the tenants or the house. And then they might do services which actually increase the safety of your house. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe having the basement chimney inspected and repaired, you could argue that it is for the safety of the tenants, because they might use it by mistake because they forgot the instructions to never use it and ignored the sign and removed the sign that blocked the chimney, and so on and so forth. So in that case, you might end up paying more than you like, but it will somehow enhance the safety. And so it might not be a bad thing unless you're really strapped for money. But so maybe just be aware that these things might happen that you don't agree to, but then because you're not there, you'll end up paying and causing people to feel bad. Just the situation could cause them to feel bad that they agreed to services which you hadn't previously agreed to. And yeah, it's hard. People often resent owners of a house when they're renters, and you have scheduling issues and communication problems, and it's just part of what goes on. And then it's a big reason why people want to have their own home and not have to deal with a third party between the people that live in there and the people fixing the house or inspecting the house, and then a third party being the owner, and it just makes things less pleasant, and it's one reason for people wanting to own something. So now over to chimneys. So chimneys are interesting. It turns out that the inside is called the flue. It's where the smoke and the hot air from the fireplace goes out. So it goes up the flue, out the top of the chimney, and in the 20th century, so 1900s, for a lot of that, it was some kind of fire brick or brick with mortar, and which is sort of the cement that holds the bricks or the concrete blocks together, or fire blocks together. And it usually would last about 50 years, and then eventually can crumble and fall out. And there's really no perfect solution. Even stainless steel linings, which are a good way to fix the missing mortar, is just put a steel lining in a chimney flue. Those tend to last about 15 to 20 years, so they need to be replaced again, so they don't last as long as the original repair. And there's an alternative, which is to do sort of concrete, maybe something like a slip, which is like a ceramic or concrete type lining, which would line the entire flue instead of using a stainless steel liner. And people will say, oh, and you also, with a stainless steel liner, you should get insulation maybe. But I have no idea if that's true or not. But anyway, so those are two. And when I say it's a concrete lining, I'm not sure the exact composition, and there may be different compositions, but the basic idea is you just line the entire bricks and mortar with the missing mortar with a new solid material, which would be nice and smooth and probably stop soot and creosote buildup. And it might be better, but it might also crack, so it's sort of questionable whether that's better. It might take more skill than just putting a stainless steel liner. So the most common thing, in my opinion, is a stainless steel liner. I think that's the best. It's probably the easiest. It might not be the cheapest way, and it might not be the long-lasting way. But if